Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive, ready to explore something new. Today we're taking a deep dive into the world of digital marketing.
Sounds exciting.
It is, and it's clear this is something you've been thinking about too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Based on the stack of articles and research you sent over, you've been doing some digging.
That's right.
So are you gearing up for a new job? A total career switch? Or just maybe curious about this whole digital world?
Well, no matter what sparked your interest, it's smart to be looking into this stuff.
For sure. Digital marketing isn't just some side thing anymore. It's kind of like woven into everything businesses do these days.
Absolutely. And how we experience the world, too.
Exactly. And the material you sent, it covers a lot, like from what digital marketing, even IS, to the big trends that are like shaping the future of marketing.
Definitely a lot to unpack.
But this isn't Digital Marketing 101. Okay.
Yeah.
We're skipping the basic definitions and going straight for the good stuff.
The juicy insights.
Exactly. The kind of stuff that makes you go, whoa, I never thought of it that way.
I think you'll be surprised by how much digital marketing affects things, even areas you might not expect.
For sure. Okay, so let's jump right in. One thing all your sources agree on. Digital marketing is basically about using digital channels to reach your audience. Seems simple enough, but it's a huge shift from the old days of billboards and TV ads.
Totally. It's a whole new way of thinking about connecting with people. Like, traditional marketing was like yelling into a megaphone hoping someone would hear.
Aha!
But digital marketing, it's more like a conversation. It's about building those relationships and getting to know your audience in ways you couldn't before.
So less about broadcasting, more like targeted engagement. Is that what you're saying?
You got it.
Yeah.
Instead of that billboard everyone sees, but maybe only a few actually care about.
Yeah.
Now you can use all this data to send specific messages to the people who are most likely to be interested.
Much more efficient.
Exactly. It's all about efficiency, keeping things relevant, and really maximizing your impact.
Makes sense. Now, for you listening, why should you care about this shift? Well, your sources make a pretty strong case that digital marketing can make or break a business.
Oh, for sure.
One report even said companies that really nail digital marketing are almost 3 times more likely to see their revenue grow compared to those who don't.
It's a big difference.
Huge. And it's not just about bigger numbers. One of the coolest things about digital marketing, it can give even small businesses global reach.
That's the power of the internet, right?
Right. So like even a small shop can theoretically reach people worldwide through social media, targeted ads, a good website.
Couldn't even imagine that a few decades ago.
No way. So no more mom and pop shops stuck on Main Street. They can be global players.
Exactly.
That opens up so many possibilities, especially for entrepreneurs who don't have tons of money to throw around.
Definitely. And speaking of budgets, another major advantage, cost effectiveness. Digital marketing has all these tools and strategies that even small businesses can afford. Yeah. Think about social media. You can build a following, talk to potential customers, and you don't have to spend a single dollar to get started. Or email marketing, super cost-effective way to connect with people and get those sales going.
And way cheaper than a TV commercial.
Oh, yeah. It's not even close.
It's like marketing for everyone, right? Anyone with a good idea and a willingness to learn can potentially reach a ton of people.
That's the beauty of it.
But with so many options, where do you even begin? It can get overwhelming fast.
That's where the whole scope of digital marketing comes in. Your research paints a pretty interesting picture of what's hot right now, and it's always changing.
It feels like it changes every day.
I know.
It's a lot to keep up with. So where do we even start unpacking all of this?
Well, one thing that really stands out from what you sent is the total dominance of social media. It's everywhere.
It is.
9 out of 10 marketers use social media for their business, and almost 3/4 of consumers have bought something because of something they saw on social media.
Wow. So it's not just posting cute cat videos anymore.
Definitely not. It's serious business.
Big time.
And it's not just about being on social media. It's about knowing how to use it strategically. Creating content that people actually want to engage with, building a community around your brand, using data to see what works. That's how you win on social media.
So you got to be part marketer, part psychologist, part data analyst.
Exactly. You're getting it.
Well, I try.
And that same multifaceted approach, it applies to all areas of digital marketing. Take content marketing, for example.
Okay.
Your research talks about how it's gone way beyond just writing blog posts. Now it's about creating valuable content in all kinds of formats.
Right.
Videos, podcasts, infographics, stuff that educates, entertains, or inspires your audience.
And hey, this episode is a perfect example of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're giving people valuable insights on digital marketing in a way that's engaging and easy to understand.
Well, thanks. Trying to practice what we preach here.
Uh-huh.
But things change so fast. What else does your research say about what's driving the future of digital marketing?
One trend that's really changing how we search for information is the rise of voice search and AI.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's talking to their devices now.
I know. Over half of consumers have used voice search to find local businesses, and that number's only going up. For marketers, it means they need to make sure their websites and content are optimized for how people actually talk.
Right.
So using conversational language, longer keywords, phrases that sound natural. You can't just stuff your website with keywords anymore. You have to think about how people actually speak and ask questions.
So instead of typing best pizza near me into Google, I might just ask my smart speaker, hey, where's the best pizza joint around?
Exactly. And those voice assistants, they use some seriously smart AI algorithms that are constantly learning and changing. Which brings up some really interesting questions about how AI will shape the future of marketing. Will AI-powered chatbots be the ones giving us personalized product recommendations? Will AI algorithms know what we want before we even know? It's pretty exciting and maybe a little scary too.
It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now.
It really is.
Yeah.
And speaking of futuristic stuff, another trend that's gaining traction is data-driven marketing. It's not just about collecting data, it's about actually using that data to understand customer behavior,
Right.
predict trends, and create super personalized marketing experiences.
That sounds a little Big Brother-ish, though, doesn't it? Like, companies are spying on us, trying to control every move we make.
I get what you mean. There are definitely some ethical things to consider. But when it's done responsibly, data-driven marketing can actually make things better for the customer.
How so?
Well, think about it. Imagine getting product recommendations that are actually things you want, based on your past purchases or what you've been looking at online, or getting emails that are tailored to your specific interests and needs. That kind of personalization can save you time, make shopping more fun, and help you find new stuff you might have missed otherwise.
So using data to make marketing less annoying and actually more helpful. I like that idea.
You too.
But with all this data being collected, what about privacy? That's a big concern, right?
Huge concern. One of the articles you sent talked about how data privacy and transparency are becoming more important than ever. Consumers are waking up to how their data is being used, and they want more control over it.
Rightfully so.
Absolutely. For marketers, this means being upfront about how they collect data, getting people's permission, and keeping that data safe.
It's not just about following the rules, it's about building trust with your audience.
Exactly. And as we depend more and more on technology, that trust becomes even more important. It's a balancing act, finding that sweet spot between using the power of data while still respecting people's privacy.
A delicate balance, for sure.
It is.
Sounds like a tricky issue with no easy answers, but it's something we definitely need to keep talking about as digital marketing keeps evolving.
I agree. And as we go deeper into this world, those ethical considerations are going to become even more important.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already. We've talked about what digital marketing is, why it matters, and touched on some of the key trends that are shaping its future, from the rise of social media to the whole voice search and AI thing.
Yeah. A lot to think about.
But what about the people behind all of this? What if you wanted to get into this crazy, ever-changing world of digital marketing? What are your options?
Well, your research gives some pretty interesting insights into potential career paths in digital marketing.
Does it now?
Oh, yeah. From content creators to data analysts, social media gurus to e-commerce specialists, there's a role for almost every skill set and interest you can think of.
Yeah. And just looking at all those job titles in your research shows how specialized this field has become. It's not just about being a digital marketer anymore.
Oh, definitely not.
You have SEO specialists, content marketing strategists, social media managers, e-commerce gurus. It's a whole world out there.
So many options. It's kind of overwhelming just reading the list.
I know, right? But it's clear there's something for everyone, whether you're like a word person, a numbers person, or a tech whiz.
Absolutely.
So let's try to break it down a bit. You mentioned SEO specialists. What exactly do those folks do all day?
Well, imagine you have this awesome website, right? Full of great content, amazing products, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
But what if nobody can find it?
That's a problem.
That's where SEO comes in. Search engine optimization, it's all about making sure your website shows up high in those search results when people Google something.
So they're like the digital detectives of the internet, figuring out how to please those mysterious search engine algorithms.
Uh-huh. I like that analogy. They're definitely masters of keywords, backlinks, and all that behind-the-scenes stuff that makes a difference in search ranking.
Right.
But it's not just technical tricks.
Yeah.
Good SEO also means understanding what people are searching for, creating content that answers their questions, and making sure the website is easy to use.
So part technical, part creative. It sounds like a cool job.
It is.
You also mentioned content marketing strategist. What do they focus on?
Well, if SEO is about getting people to your website, content marketing is about keeping them there.
Okay.
Keeping them engaged, informed, entertained. And these are the people who create all that good stuff, like blog posts, videos, infographics, ebooks.
All the stuff we love to consume online.
Exactly. And the best content marketing isn't just trying to sell you something. It's about telling a story, giving people helpful information, building a connection with your audience.
So not just a sales pitch.
No way. Think about those top 10 tips articles you see everywhere, or those how-to videos that teach you something new. That's all content marketing.
I never thought of it that way.
And when it's done well, it can be super effective.
How so?
It can drive traffic to your website, make people loyal to your brand, and ultimately lead to more sales.
It's like that old saying, give the people what they want. But in the digital world, you got to figure out what they want before they even know it.
Exactly. And that's where understanding your audience and knowing how to analyze data becomes so important.
Speaking of understanding audiences, what about those social media managers? Everyone and their grandma is on social media these days, so I imagine that's a pretty intense job.
It can be. Social media is like the new town square, where brands can have those real conversations with their customers.
So it's more than just posting pretty pictures and funny captions.
There's definitely an art to it, but there's a strategy behind it too.
Oh, I bet.
Social media managers need to know how those algorithms work, how to track engagement, and how to use data to make their campaigns better. They're also often the first line of customer service, answering questions and dealing with any problems that come up.
Sounds like you need a lot of energy and patience for that job.
For sure. But it's also a job with a lot of potential. A really good social media campaign can go viral, spread like wildfire, and reach millions of people.
That's pretty cool. Now, you mentioned e-commerce gurus earlier. They're the ones focused on online stores, right?
Yep. E-commerce specialists are like the architects of the online shopping experience. They make sure everything runs smoothly, from browsing products to checking out.
So they're the ones responsible for those websites where you can never find what you're looking for, or the checkout process takes forever.
Well, hopefully they're doing the opposite. They're working behind the scenes to make sure those virtual shelves are stocked, the website is easy to use, and the whole process is safe and secure.
Making online shopping a joy instead of a pain.
Exactly.
Now, with all these different roles in digital marketing, are there any skills that are important across the board?
Definitely. Each job has its own specific things you need to know. But there's some core skills that will help you succeed no matter what area of digital marketing you go into.
Like what?
Well, one of the big ones is data analysis. You got to be comfortable working with numbers, figuring out what those analytics mean, and using that information to make smart decisions.
So all those spreadsheets I learned in school might actually come in handy.
More than you know. Data is everything in digital marketing. It tells you what's working, what's not, and where to focus your energy.
It's like a roadmap to success.
It is.
Besides data, what else is important for aspiring digital marketers?
Communication. Whether you're writing website copy, social media posts, or emails, being able to communicate clearly and persuasively is key. And you need to be able to adapt your style for different platforms and audiences.
So it's not just about being a good writer, it's about knowing how to talk to different people in different ways.
Exactly.
Now, what about creativity? Is there still room for that in this data-driven world?
Oh, absolutely. Digital marketing is all about standing out online, and that takes creativity.
Sure.
Whether you're designing visuals, coming up with clever social media campaigns, or writing engaging content, you got to be able to think outside the box.
Makes sense.
So yeah, a good digital marketer needs to be adaptable, data savvy, and be creatively inclined.
Quite the combination.
It is. And maybe the most important skill of all, a willingness to learn and adapt. Things change so fast in the digital world. New platforms pop up all the time. Algorithms shift. Trends come and go.
It's a lot to keep up with.
I know. So you can't just learn something once and be done. You got to be a lifelong learner, always staying curious and adapting to whatever comes next.
It's like a never-ending adventure.
Exactly. So if you're someone who loves challenges, enjoys exploring new technology, and is passionate about connecting with people online, then digital marketing might be the perfect field for you.
Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From what digital marketing, even IS, to the big trends changing things up,
Right.
and even all the different careers you could have.
It's a wild world out there.
It really is. But as we wrap things up, I want to kind of shift gears a bit.
Okay.
All the stuff you sent focused on how businesses use digital marketing.
Right.
Reaching their customers, boosting sales, building those brands. But what about the other side of that? How does digital marketing affect US, the everyday people, the consumers?
That's a great question.
It is. Because we're all on the receiving end of this stuff, whether we realize it or not.
Absolutely. We're all targeted in some way.
Think about those product recommendations that are creepily accurate.
I know, right? It's like they're reading our minds.
Or those ads that follow you around the internet. It's a little spooky sometimes.
It can be. Well, in a way, they are kind of reading our minds.
Yeah.
Data-driven marketing gives companies so much information about what we do online.
It's a little scary.
It is. They know our browsing history, what we buy, even who we talk to on social media.
Wow.
And they use all that data to create those super personalized marketing experiences.
Sometimes it's cool, when they recommend something you actually want.
Definitely.
But sometimes it just feels intrusive, like someone's always watching.
You're not wrong. One of your articles even called it surveillance capitalism.
I saw that.
Like, our data is being collected and sold without us really understanding what's happening.
Not cool.
Not at all. It makes you think about data privacy, ethical marketing, and that line between personalization and just being plain creepy.
For sure. It's a tough one.
It is.
So as we depend more and more on all this technology, it's super important to be aware of how digital marketing is shaping our online experiences.
Absolutely.
And to be mindful of what we're sharing and how that information might be used.
We all need to be informed consumers.
Right. Understanding what's going on and making smart choices about how we interact online.
Exactly. We got to be critical thinkers, not just passively letting digital marketing wash over us.
I like that. Critical thinkers. And we need to demand more transparency from companies. Tell us what you're doing with our data.
Absolutely. We need to hold them accountable.
Well said. So this deep dive, hopefully it's giving you a good look at the world of digital marketing.
From all angles.
From the good to the bad, the exciting to the kind of scary.
There's a lot to it.
As you keep learning about this stuff, just keep those opportunities and challenges in mind.
It's a powerful force, digital marketing.
It is.
It's changing our world. And it's up to all of us to make sure it's used in a way that's ethical and responsible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of digital marketing.
My pleasure.
We hope you learned something new, maybe had a few aha moments.
Maybe even got a little inspired.
Because this digital world, it's always changing. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring.